Alright, so I just got to get good at speaking to the camera. I have absolutely nothing planned for this video. I've posted some videos on YouTube, but they've all been a bit uncoordinated. I didn't know what I was doing. And I suppose there was a level of maybe vulnerability about those videos, which was unproductive in a way, I think. Like, in reality, there wasn't much purpose to them, I think, other than to kind of bridge some form of a gap between me not posting and posting. But even that, I made them like too complex, really. Some of them even involved editing and like stitching fragments of clips together from an SD card recordings, um, and just like stuff like that. And like honestly, I suppose if you're starting a channel, the thing you want is just simplicity. Like, what's the first and simplest step? And it's like just one solid recording and upload it, and that's what I needed to do. But obviously, the monkey mind, a Buddhist thing, I think they call it the monkey mind. It's just the scatterbrain, the thing that makes things complex, that doesn't allow things to be easy, which doesn't allow us to be calm and relaxed. You know, that game we play with ourselves to maintain stress and discomfort, because that's what we're used to. And when we begin to relax, we begin to heal, and that healing feels traumatic. And like, look how hard everybody's working in the world to run away from that healing. All those people who take drugs, all those people who commit crimes, all those people who do heinous acts against others. How desperate so many of us are to escape ourselves. And I have fallen into this trap. I think I'm blessed that the vast majority of damage was done to myself. And I can feel grateful for this, truly, that the worst I did to other people was verbal. You know, there was a great cowardice in how I ran from myself, when in reality, myself is my greatest responsibility. You know, ourselves are our greatest responsibility. We are our own greatest enemy. You are your own greatest enemy. I am my greatest enemy. And it sounds cliche, but it's true. Like, how many of us can say that there is anything in the world? Like, how many of us can authentically say that there is anything in the world holding us back more than ourselves? I personally could fall into the trap of blaming. I could blame everything, and maybe everything might potentially add up more than myself, but I doubt it. Everything, everything in the world, for me personally, does not hold me back as much as I hold myself back. And it's got to end. And I'm just doing it because I'm afraid. I'm afraid. I'm afraid of being vulnerable. Because when I was vulnerable, when I was small, I was neglected, emotionally abused, treated like shit, disrespected, ignored. And so you carve out your niche. And your niche is denying yourself what you need. Because when you communicate it to your environment, you are abused. You are treated badly. I need this thing. Help me find it. But from my experience, and you might have experienced it as well, they can't address your needs. That's the problem. It's our own needs, our own authentic needs are not the problem, and they never will be, because they're real. They are our reality. You'll have your own reality and I'll have mine. And I suppose it becomes quite lonely, or it can feel lonely initially, when we try and make back up in a way, to really look deep within ourselves and find that thing that we did need, and to find out that it was quite a simple thing, and all the subsequent problems that have arisen from simple deprivations of the most basic requirements of human growth and development. And just look at our environment. I mean, look at all these people. I don't know, if you spent a lot of time watching people, just walking along the streets and seeing how people act and behave, and even witnessing our own behaviours, your behaviour, my behaviour. How many of them are coordinated to a single goal? And what is that goal? And how many of us even know our purpose and our goal in why we're doing things? Right now, my mind's flashing all these images, and it is so uncoordinated. It's so distracted. It is so badly utilized, I suppose. It's so chaotic within myself, and I truly hope that your goals are better than mine, and your purpose is greater than mine, and you've got a greater sense of clarity as to what it is you're working towards, because mine has been lost for so long that I have absolutely no idea what it is. And I suppose that, wow, the accountability held between talking to someone, to something, and expressing ourselves authentically, which most of us weren't allowed to do. I definitely wasn't allowed to do it. I have no idea if you were allowed to do it. But, I wasn't allowed to communicate my needs in my environment because the people around me had no conscious way of addressing those needs. They could just do the bare minimum. And so you end up starved in an environment, I had health problems growing up, don't know about you, but I was starved of the foods that would have made me healthy. I was starved of affection, care, attention, all that stuff. And you get to a point in life where it's just well, if it's happened to me, I'm not alone. That's the good thing about there being 8 billion people is, estimated 8 billion people, whatever. If you're experiencing something, if I'm experiencing something, it's not unique. Other people are experiencing what we are going through. And that can really broaden out your horizons as to how you view the world and how you see yourself. Because if you can address those needs effectively and find what it is that was lacking in your life and how to address that, and in doing so effectively save ourselves. You save yourself, I save myself. And then we share that information, and people can choose whether they want to incorporate it into their own life or not, by visually seeing how we live our lives and whether they like it or not. And so you don't have to convince people, you don't have to shout people down, abuse people. You can just be a visual representation. This is how I live. This is the benefits I gain from it. Do you like what you see? Is this how you'd want to live? And how many of us were really, growing up, provided enough sense of people around us who we wanted to copy and who we admired and loved and wanted to be like? I didn't have anybody. I had my brother. But then you drift, in dysfunctional families, you drift away from each other pretty quickly. And I don't know if you have anybody, but We should be grateful for anybody around us who is inspiring and who's working hard and is finding solutions and is living well. And this channel is going to be about living well, how to live, how I want to live, and how others, you, me, can kind of coordinate ourselves together to live better and more effectively and share good ideas, and in doing so enrich each other's lives. Yeah, I'm wishing you strength and keep fighting, and let's improve together. Peace out.